Yes, we are live. Okay, we can start. So, hi everyone, and welcome to our webinar, How to Build AI-Ready Infrastructure in HealthTech. And today we'll unpack what it truly takes to make healthcare innovation safe, scalable, and effective using AI. And I'm so excited to introduce our speakers today, Roman and Fedir, both experienced in building tech that actually works in regulated environments like HealthTech. So here we go. Fedir is our CEO and co-founder of Gart Solutions with over than 15 years of in IT. He's helped organization align cloud DevOps with real business goals. And Roman is our CTO and co-founder of Gart Solutions, and he is certified cloud architect with a deep focus on regulated industries like healthcare and fintech and so on. So, wait a minute, I need to add our presentation here. Okay, and I think today we'll walk through real-world examples, common pitfalls, and practical takeaways. And we'll also have some time for Q&A section at the end of this webinar, so feel free to drop your question, messages in the chat as we go. And I think we can start. And I think we should start with the bigger picture. Yes, AI is everywhere. And even if people don't always realize they are using AI. And Fedir, my first question is for you. What are the main AI startup directions in 2025? What do you think?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks, Nastya, for this question. So I would say that currently we are able to focus on different directions, and different trend and in AI industry in general. So one of them is vertical AI applications. I would say that startups are currently moving from generic tools like image or video generation to some more specific solution in some specific industries like health tech, like legal tech or fintech. For example, in a healthcare, this could be AI-driven diagnostic, personalized treatment plans, or even tools for medical imaging that work seamlessly within clinical workflows. The next one is a AI agent and autonomous system. It's a solution with actually handling patient intake, scheduling, or navigating insurance claims without human intervention. These systems are becoming more context aware and able to operate within a complex real world environments. One more direction is specialized foundation models. So instead of using one large general proposed model like GPT, companies start training their own small, more specialized models. For example, one fine-tuned on a medical data or compliant with healthcare regulations. This help improve accuracy, efficiency, and trust. And one of my favorite direction is AI for scientific research. Um, it's AI solutions which now working on accelerating drug discovery, genomics, and clinical research. Startups in this space use AI to simulate experiments, identify patterns and massive data sets, or even generate a new hypothesis.
Okay, thanks, Fedir. So it's all about the shift from can we use AI to how do we use right AI for the right problem, yes?
Yeah, that's it. It's mostly like a general direction.
Yeah, and infrastructure plays a huge role in making that possible. So let's move on and talk about what it means for healthcare industry. Yes, and Roman, my next question is for you. We see a huge growth projection for AI in healthcare, and what's driving this demand? Can you explain?
That AI is right now everywhere. So if a couple of years ago, like companies and people were able to reject AI and do not use AI in business and said that, okay, this is something modern, we will not use it, we don't understand it, it's like we don't know how it works. So right now AI is everywhere and it will be more and more um, in our life, yeah, day by day. So we could not reject it anymore or like refuse it anymore. We should like adopt it in our common life and business as well. And health tech is a part of larger AI transformation. So and soon it should be like a baseline, not an edge case. If talking about this number about how market is growing, how AI market is growing, and why healthcare is really important here, and how it could be, why this could grow inside healthcare market, I could say there are some factors that driving this demand. So first of all, it's like a data explosion. So healthcare system by nature they generate massive enormous of data by different sources. It's like electronic health records, it's lab results, it's wearables, imaging. So massive of data. And in this case, like classic systems, they could not process or make sense of this amount of data. So and AI is really helping here with a massive data. Also, the second factor is like a clinical staff burnout and staff storages. So staff shortages. So what probably a lot of people know that like with the clinic, especially in some countries, it's a long queue to wait for your like medical appointment. It's a lot of it's a long queue to have some medical tests, and actually a lot of medical staff it's overwhelmed with not a very it's overwhelmed with a repetitive task, with a routine, and basically AI could help here to um, move this routine work from real meaningful work from people. Yeah. And probably what also I would add here that um, actually patient and they expect that health system will be moving forward from like treating illness reactively to proactively. So I and people in general care more about their health. Yeah, so people spend more time thinking about like health, healthy lifestyle and so on. So basically, AI could help here to support people to with this. Basically, that's why this market is very promising.
Yeah, thanks, Roman. It makes total sense, and it's not just a hype. Yes, it's real needs. And all right. Now let's get more specific. And my question is for you, Fedir. Which use cases are the most AI ready today? What do you think?
Um, as you correctly mentioned, we can say that some of these existing projects are already AI ready. However, someone is still more in aspirational stage. Yeah, to AI ready, we can put a couple of let's say scopes of projects. One of them is definitely medical imaging and diagnosis. It's a tool with actually already performing at or sometimes above human level. These tools can detect tumors or anomalies in X-rays or MRIs, so it's currently start to be very popular and very useful. One more here is clinical documentation automation. Currently, there are too many time spending for some paperwork, and currently AI subscribed that capture doctor-patient conversation and after generate notes. So it's also start to be really useful to replace this routine work with AI agents. And one more thing is risk stratification and predictive alerts. Hospitals are using predictive model to flag patient at risk and sepsis, readmission or sudden deterioration. So it's also currently very useful stuff. However, also there are multiple projects which are still on aspirational stage. First of all, it's a real-time clinical decision support. We're seeing some early wins, but letting AI help doctor make medical choice is still being worked out. Doctors need AI that can clearly explain things, and adding AI to busy hospital routines without creating too many alerts, it's currently tough. And I would say that one more direction here is personalized treatment recommendations. So the main goal is simple. AI recommends treatments that fit each patient's specific needs, but this need to work well with medical rules, patient information, and doctor decision. Making sure it's accurate, trusted, and legally safe is still hard. So to summarize it, I would say that the most ready-to-use AI tools today focus on spotting patterns and automating routine tasks, while the bigger goals need better integration with the medical practice and stronger approval from regulators.
Okay, great insight. Thank you. So just to recap, the most mature use cases focus on pattern recognition, yes, and
Yeah,
workflow automation, yes, something like that.
yeah, and replace routine work. That's right.
Work. Yeah. So now let's move to the infrastructure part. Infrastructure in health stack is complex because you're operating in one of the most sensitive and regulated environments out there. And what makes infrastructure in health stack especially complex compared to other industries? Yes. So what's special in it? Fedir, it's question for.
Yeah, uh, I will pick it up. So, challenging in a healthcare infrastructure is a very rich topic. Yeah, and we can talk about it, I know, hours. But let's try to segregate it somehow and start with probably one of the most important part. It's regulatory and compliance challenges. um, so healthcare infrastructure must meet strict standards like HIPAA and GDPR. So it means that there are huge attention should be paid for encrypting data, implementing fine-grained access control, keeping audits, adapting infrastructure to different justifications, and so on. uh, this next one probably should be a data architecture challenge, because healthcare data comes in all shapes and forms. Yeah, so it can be structured like lab result. It can be not so structured, but still like with some kind of standard like HL7. And it
Mhm.
also can be totally unstructured, like physical notes or scans. So it's very challengeable to provide such kind of solution which can handle diverse data types, clean, normalize, and label data correctly, ensure provenance and traceability. So yeah, it's a huge part of work. In terms of infrastructure and technique part, I would say that very challenging part is performance and scalability. You're often dealing with a real-time decision making that cannot afford delays. Yeah, so infrastructure must support such things as a high availability, low latency processing, and lasting scaling for variable workloads. What next? What else? Probably one of the most hardest stuff and heavy things is technical integration challenges, because most hospitals still use some kind of legacy system and standards like HL7 or even older different type of EHR system. So integrating model AI tools into that stack requires some kind of best practice approach, let's say. It's FHEI compatible APIs. Yeah, it's a different adapters for HL7, for X12, for different standards and formats, and even creation of custom connectors and interpreters for a different layer of your solution. And probably the last one here is operational challenges. It's not enough just to build or create a technology. Yeah, so you have to deploy and maintain it 24/7 in your real a clinical environment. Yeah, so you need to have this ML ops to save model updates, yeah, to maintain your workflows. It's a must to have probably real-time monitoring and clinical validation and humor in the loop systems. So it's just a small part of the whole challenges. However, probably from my understanding, it's one part of the most important.
Yeah, thanks, Fedir. It's a small part, but it paints a very real
Yeah.
picture. And my next question for Roman, if you had picked one challenge that the biggest blocker, what it would be from your perspective?
If I would pick up just a single, I would say it's data quality and integration. It's like a real world, in most cases, is the biggest blocker for technologies. Yeah, so in real world is quite not ideal. So as in healthcare, your AI, your model is only as good as data it's built on. And right now, what do we have? In the most situations, the data is often fragmented, inconsistent, stored by pieces in in bunch of legacy systems. So it's very hard to build a reliable model based and infrastructure without firstly prepare the data itself. And actually, yeah, clean and make them to be used in a proper way for training models. So yeah, that's I think the data is the biggest challenge for building new systems and new AI.
Yeah, a really important point. Even the best AI tools can't work without clean, connected data. Yes, and it's not just
Actually,
about. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
actually, like even for a non-healthcare models, the problem for AI in general is like how to train and educate this model, where to get the data sources, where to get this amount of data for them. So yeah, that's the biggest one. That's the
Yeah,
biggest challenge.
the foundation they stand on is very important. Yes, just Okay, let's keep going. Roman. Yeah. When we say AI infrastructure, it's more than just cloud and compute. So, what AI infrastructure actually means from the tech stack perspective? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So as you're very accurate. It's not just cloud and compute. It's really an ecosystem, and ecosystem that lays in the background of any AI product. I would say it's not related only to AI. It's general to building infrastructure, but for AI and healthcare and this combination, it's very important. And I prefer here a layered approach that basically I would like to say that four layers, yeah, so like a data layer, model layer, integration layer, and 5 layers: governance, monitoring, and compliance. So these layers together could create a reliable infrastructure. So let's go one by one. So data layer, it's like for storage of the data. So where you're storing your data, how you're storing your data, what is the lifestyle, how you protect like personal information, how you train your models, and so on. And this layer is basically very tightly coupled with a model layer. So like what is your training infrastructure, what's your model versioning, what is explainability tools like you're using, and for sure like how you avoid, for example, using a black box models in your AI, because like black box model and healthcare, they shouldn't be together. Integration layer. So you use AI, you already have something, and you need to integrate it with a real world system. So there are a bunch of protocols here like HL7, FHIR, APIs. So you could use real-time streaming systems like Kafka. You could use event-driven microservices. So all these technologies, they are very important for integration your model with other components. And two more, they're less technical, but still super important. It's governance and monitoring and compliance. So governance and monitoring means that you should continuously monitor your infrastructure, and you should understand what's going on in any time at any moment. So real-time monitoring for model drifts, logging and audit trails, security controls, actually everything is here. And compliance, like healthcare is regulated, personal data is important, so we definitely need to be aligned with standards like HIPAA, GDPR, needs to follow the best practices for security and data access, having clear understanding who has access where, and for sure, like privacy by design. So if like summarizing, so AI infrastructure, it's not about it's not only about like performance or scalability. It's more about safety, stability, traceability, and compliance.
Yeah, thank you, Roman. It's that full stack view really helps. It's clear that AI infrastructure in healthcare is multi-layered, yes, of course, and compliance and safety aren't optional. It's built in from the day one. Yes, we should take care about it. And let's move on to what an infrastructure needs to support this in practice. And Fedir, my question is for you: what's the key points for teams trying to build AI-ready infrastructure in healthcare?
Okay, so I would say that AI solutions start coming to healthcare industry during last couple of years. So each of components on this slide, it's from like real-time data handling to integration of different types of API and standards reflects a hard lesson learned in real deployments. Yeah. So I would say that you cannot just plug in an AI model and expect it to work in clinical settings. Yeah, the infrastructure has to support live decision making, compliance, and interoperability. Yeah, all at once. For example, if your system cannot stream real-time vitals or cannot explain its output, it simply won't be usable by clinicals. And if it doesn't integrate with existing hospital systems, no one will adopt it. So this slide, it's not like some kind of wish list. It's a bare minimal for safe, scalable, and trustworthy AI in the healthcare.
Yeah, it's very grounded list, for building something usable and scalable in real clinical settings. So,
That's
yeah. So before we go too far, let's talk about what not to do. Yes, because even great teams can fall into traps when working with AI in healthcare. And Roman, my question is for you: what are the biggest mistakes you've seen in your practice?
Yeah, there is a seven points here in the list. I would focus on a couple of them. So what's the most common? What's the most common? So as far as AI is quite a new technology, like a lot of people and a lot of teams who are starting to building new product, and for example, they don't have experience in AI, and or they have some experience in AI, but they don't have experience in healthcare, or vice versa, they have experience in healthcare, but they don't have experience in AI. So probably the most common error, like it's using a general purpose infra. So any healthcare product, it's first of all about trust, and about trust between your users and your product, or like nevertheless it is like B2B or B2C. If your client is a doctors or clinics, or it is like you're working directly with the people, people should trust you. And actually when you build a product, it should be secure by default. So it's very important that from the very beginning, when you build a product, you think about compliance with HIPAA, GDPR. You understand really what these standards means. You really implement it in your architecture. So it's not just like you put it into a paper and say that, okay, yeah, we are compliant, but in fact, like you're not. So it's establishing the trust is the most important, because this is an industry where the price of mistake is very high. Yeah, so I would say it's the most difficult and complex things. If talking about other things, so yeah, poor data quality. We already spoke about this. Actually, you should understand what data do you have in the beginning. If you have a wrong data, start with the data, start preparing the data, start gathering in the proper way, like set up your ETL processes, your ML ops. So start with labeling, normalizations this data, because without data it's impossible to build a right model and correct model. Also, with data security, it's also related to the trust. Yeah, so healthcare is very sensitive, sensitive market, and on this market, you should always think about being as much secure as possible. So no one wants their personal data will be exposed by some hackers and so on. So going back, like monitoring, so live monitoring as well. So usually teams are forgot about monitoring or just like postpone it, because like when especially young companies or startups starts building their product, they have a long to-do list with features, what they want to build, and like believe me, monitoring is not in the first place here. So they want to release faster, they want to implement more features, they want to get more clients. That's the nature.
Failed fast.
That's totally fine. Yeah, that's totally fine, because like they need to grow. They need to, and to grow they need more clients. The more clients will give them more investment and so on. But being so infrastructure in general, and monitoring is a part of infrastructure. It's a ground. It's a fundament. It's a baseline. Yeah. So if you have a strong infrastructure, it's well established. It's like it will be a good basement for the company growth. And with the monitoring, you could avoid using it when you don't have client. But as far as you have like a first client in production, you will need monitoring, because especially if you're working in a B2B, you have a first client. You should always know about that something goes wrong earlier than your client will complain. Yeah, so that's why you need like a monitoring. And monitoring not only about infrastructure, but also about some changes in data, monitoring about security incidents, monitoring about survivability and stability of your system in general. So yeah, it's I would say it's one of the mistakes that probably not very important in the beginning, but as far as you got some clients, you should establish this.
Yeah, so important. Thank you. I especially liked your point about explainability. Yes, AI can't just be smart, it should be trusted and usable. And when we say AI ready, we don't just mean technically advanced, we mean secure, integrated, and ready for clinical use. And Fedir, my next question is for you. Can you talk about this HL7, FHAR, and why are these so important in modern health systems?
Yeah, thanks, Nastya, for the question. It's a really good one, because in a IT world, we already used to live in a condition when we have like a good structure in a data, and already completed tools which help us to work with this data. However, healthcare industry is not like only digital part. Yeah, it's tons of paperwork. It's a huge amount of different devices, types, and different kind of data, and it's quite important to have some kind of workflow process and standards how we can work and integrate different types of devices, digital solutions, and AI solutions as well into one workflow. Yeah. So FHIR and HL7 is a fundamental how currently modern health system exchange data, and they're critically for making AI actually usable in real clinical environments. Um, if we try to describe that HL7, it's a quite older, yeah, however, widely adopted set of standards to exchange clinical and administrative data between healthcare systems. If we try to imagine how it looks like structured letter, yeah, or structured like a telegram, where you have like a message contains specific health information like lab results or patient admissions, formatted in a very particular way, so that receiving system know exactly how to read and process the data. In terms of FHIR, it's like a fast healthcare interoperability resources. Is a little bit newer standard developed by the same organization, but designed most for a web area. Yeah, so that's why it looks like simple REST API. Yeah, adapt a little bit for healthcare needs. So it's modern and built to be developer friendly, I would say. Why it's actually matter? Uh, Currently, we can talk about a couple of statements. The first one is interoperability. If your AI solution cannot speak by these like standards, it won't integrate with the hospital systems. That means no access to patient records, lab results, or scheduling. Basically, no context for decision making. The next one is structured data. FHIR gives you a predictable structured data formats, which makes data integration, validation, and model training far more efficient and scalable. One more thing here, it's real-time access. So this FHIR API enables real-time queries and data exchange. So it's a simplify to query data from different sources, which is essential for AI tools use at the point of care, like triage system or alert engines. And the most important in the healthcare world is regulatory alignment. Many healthcare systems, especially currently in the United States and the European Union, are now required using this FHIR protocol compatibility for compliance with data sharing laws. So to summarize it, if you are building AI for healthcare tech and not using these standards, it likes trying to build a car without roads. It just won't go anywhere.
Yeah, thank you for unpacking that, Fedir. So, if your infrastructure doesn't speak, for example, HL7, it's cut off from the system clinicians actually use. Yes. So,
Yes,
Roman,
you have a big chance to lose.
yeah, just cut off from the game. And Roman, one more question for you. A simple question. It sounds simple, but yet the answer might be quite complex. Yes. How do you build AI-ready health tech product? Can you share?
Yeah, how to build an AI-ready health tech product?
Yeah.
Yeah, really good question. Really good question. For sure, there is no simple answer. Yeah, so simple answer would be like find the right people with the right experience, with the right knowledge, and build and start building the product. But actually, like general recommendations. So first of all, start with some cloud native and microservices architecture. It would give you, in most cases, like flexibility and scalability if your product will be relevant to the market. For healthcare, also important, like use FHIR compatible data services from the start. Like don't wait until some integration time will happen in the future. So just to now design your product in this way to be compatible with FHIR. Think about your data at the beginning again. So we were talking about this, but think about your data, structure them, build a data lake that enforce some strict rules for the data validation, control, and so on. Yeah, the very important thing is that like get all the teams, like legal team, clinician, security, involved into your product from the very beginning. So create a collaborative environment, because this is a very difficult field to play, because like the healthcare sector itself is difficult, and AI is difficult. Yeah, so it's quite a new technology. So you really need to have a lot of people from with different background and from different areas, like work together on legal documents, on creating a proof that you are really safe and you follow this standard. Security team, data compliance. So it shouldn't be like different teams. It's probably just different people, or like consultancy, or some contractors that you have like for a particular work, but they should really work together. That's the most difficult question, because like technical people, legal people, and clinicians, they speak different languages, and as a I don't know, as a business owner or someone who builds a product, it's the main challenge to work this to make this machine to drive. Yeah.
Yeah, really well said. AI readiness is not just about tech, it's about full ecosystem. And I love how you brought in legal, clinical, and ops teams early. So let's move. Let's move. Okay, we are at the finish line. Final topic before we shift to our Q&A section. So my question is, does the conversation around this European tech sovereignty affect how startups choose and build their infrastructure? Fedir, this question is for you, I think.
Um, it's like from the first point of view, I would say that the biggest impact is compliance and regulatory. Yeah, so to meet all necessary requirement according to HIPAA and GDPR, it's totally about like European sovereignty cloud for now. So it's too many cross dependency between cloud compute and your like governments and business logic solutions. So I would say that in case if you are a startup from European Union and you want to build an AI solution for a healthcare, definitely need to think about sovereign cloud provider from European Union as well.
Yeah, thanks. It's such a timely issue, and control and compliance are becoming strategic advantages. Yes, not just check boxes in your checklist.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So before we move to our Q&A section, I want to quickly highlight something that might be helpful if you are thinking, where do we even start with all this? So at Gart Solutions, we're currently offering fast IT audit designed especially for companies in healthcare or other regulated environments like fintech, for example. And it includes a quick review of your infrastructure, compliance, and security, some actionable recommendation, not just generic slides, but tailored solutions that you can actually use in practice. And most importantly, it doesn't require huge investment or long-term commitments. Yes, so it's a great way to see where you stand and what would be needed to move toward your AI-ready setup. If it sounds relevant for you, feel free to reach out to me, Fedir, or Roman directly, or just use our contact info you see on this slide. On the previous slide, we put the QR code. You can scan it and read more about our IT audit services. Yes. And we'd be happy to talk about your project and explore what's possible together. So, yes, let's move to the Q&A section. We have a question here. Yes, and I should read it, yes. What are the biggest differences between building AI infrastructure for health tech and fintech, or maybe e-commerce and other fields? So,
Okay, Nasta, let me probably answer this one. So yeah, first of all, thank you for the question. It's really a good one because there is no silver bullet to build an infrastructure for everything. Yeah. So healthcare and fintech, they could be like quite common from the regulation perspective. So these industries are highly regulated, but for different standards, and they have a different risk models. So I would say you definitely the difference will be how we identify the risk and how we apply the security and how we build model and so on. And with e-commerce, which is mostly has low risk data, but it could be a massive amount of data. There could be data from I don't know, from different from different parts of the sources. It's usually more global. Yeah. So if we're talking e-commerce could be worldwide. So your AI will be different, depends on the industry for sure. Your model will be different because of your input data. Somehow, again, like in a health tech, it could be less structured. Yeah, in a fintech, it probably would be more structured because fintech is regulated by strict standards of reporting and strict standards of storing data. So that's one of the point, like different risk models, the second point, and amount of data. So I could suggest that in some cases e-commerce could have much more data than actually other sectors. Yeah, in some cases, but it's not mandatory. So like what I would recommend, like some kind of patterns for which to start, like classify risks for every industry, and so like understand what's your risk, what's your regulation, and so on. Understood your scale, because your scale will influence your latency. So how fast you could be, how you could how scale, I mean like amount of data and your audience. And also for e-commerce, for example, it could be not so strict. Yeah, you could probably experiment faster because it's not so regulated as a fintech or healthcare.
okay, thank you, Roman. And we have one more question. I'm building a platform that generates AI-based workout, health, and nutrition plans for seniors and overweight individuals with a real trainer supporting the journey. And I don't came from the tech background, and the question is, what the best way to find technical co-founder or partner who shares this vision and can help bring it to life?
I will take this one. I like such kind of questions. Yeah, because it's really great when people do such kind of things. I really like this, like sports tools. Yeah, with all this like integration with gadget, especially with AI currently. So yeah, basically from my experience, I would say that the main like a challenge is to in this collaboration between technique guys, yeah, and business part. So what I would recommend here, uh, first of all, is to find out exactly what you are mentioned here, to find out people and partner who will inspire with your idea, yeah, with your potential application, with your potential solution, because it's it should be a spirit of your project and so on. Yeah, so you will never do a great work in case if you are not join the process here. What about technique part? I would say that it's extremely important to describe your business processes, yeah, in more details. It will be really helpful for technique team, yeah, and technique partner to understand how to implement this in the best way. Because in case if you already know what exactly you want to achieve, yeah, how to do this, it's a much more easier part. So what do I mean here? It's you need to know such kind of business logic, yeah, how your application will work from business perspective, not like some kind of protocols or connectivity or some kind of specific requests or something like this. It's more about what should be afterwards, yeah, what should be your business model. It should be some kind of subscription, yeah, what kind of subscription it should be, what kind of plans. It will depends on how much you can pay for, I know, for AI infrastructure, because compute is really expensive, and all this part of calculation will provide you the best solution of this in this collaboration with the technique partner.
Yeah, thank you, Fedir. And we have one more question. Do you recommend using public cloud or private on-prem solution for AI in healthcare?
It's a really like a philosophy question. Yeah, so
More philosophical than previous one,
yeah.
yeah.
uh, I would recommend to use like a hybrid one, because especially if you are talking about healthcare, we always keep in mind that we are working with a really sensitive data, yeah, and meet all these requirements according to GDPR and HIPAA much easier in a private cloud, yeah, and on on-premise solutions. However, on other hand, using public cloud, it means that you will simplify a lot of things. Yeah, you will simplify maintenance process. It's much more easy to go to markets, make this step. Yeah, first step. Probably the best approach here will be to start your POC or even MVP in a public cloud, yeah, to simplify this first step, and then when you start work with real massive data sets, move it to on-premise or a private cloud with a much more secure approaches.
Yeah, okay. So no more questions. So we can
I could add to the previous one that Fedir answered. So yeah, it's really a philosophy question. So how to where to start and how to start, but I would say that public cloud could be like could be less secure. It looks like public is less secure, but to be honest, big cloud providers like AWS, Azure, Google, in most cases there will be more secure than a private server in someone room, yeah, in some actually it's because they have quite a strict protocols, access, like a physical access, data access, some encryption, and so on. And for sure, if you're just starting, public clouds will be much cheaper. If you're big enough, like quite big enough, so then you could start building your own private data center, private cloud. But from the beginning, for sure, it's for me, using public cloud is obvious.
yeah. Okay, no more questions, guys. So Thank you, Roman and Fedir, for such insightful session, and thank you guys for joining us. We hope this gave you a clear look how to build AI-ready real-world health tech solutions. And take care, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Martin.
See you soon.
Bye bye.